Welcome all. In this lecture, we are discussing the topic dual converter fed DC motor. So we can have an overview of fully controlled rectifier fed DC motor. So this is a circuit diagram of fully controlled rectifier fed DC motor. And if you are looking here, this thyristor can conduct only in one direction, means the current can only flow in this positive direction only. Okay, so because of this, if you are using fully controlled rectifier, IA is always positive. IA cannot be made as negative, but VO can be positive or negative according to the value of alpha. If alpha is in between 0 and 90, VO is positive, and if alpha is in between 90 and 180, this is negative. Okay, so we can obtain both positive and negative voltage, but only positive current. So only first and fourth quadrant operation is possible using a control rectifier. So in order to get this second and third quadrant operations, I0 should be negative. Okay, so for this we are using dual converter. So here what we are doing is we are using two converters, an additional converter B which is connected in anti-parallel. Okay, so by converter A we can get a positive current because thyristors can conduct in this direction, and with converter B we can get a negative current. Okay, thyristor can conduct in this direction. Okay, so it will be negative. Okay, so if converter A is conducting, it will be a positive current, and if converter B is conducting, it will be a negative current. Okay, then the voltage equations are same. VOA is 2 Vm by pi cos alpha A, but here VOB, here we are connecting the converter in anti-parallel, so it will be a minus. Okay, minus 2 Vm by pi cos alpha B. Okay, and in case of dual converter operates in two modes: non-circulating current mode and circulating current mode. In non-circulating current mode, at a time only one converter is conducting, either converter A or converter B is conducting at a time. Okay, so if converter A alone is operating, we know that when converter A is conducting, I0 will be positive and VO is equal to VOA equal to 2 Vm by pi cos alpha A. So there are two cases when we are operating the converter A with a firing angle which is in between 0 and 90. So if firing angle is in between 0 and 90, cos alpha A is positive, then VO is positive. So we are getting a positive voltage, and with converter A operation we are getting positive current. So we are getting both voltage and current as positive. So we are achieving first quadrant operation. And next case is we are operating the converter A with a firing angle which is in between 90 and 180. Okay, so if alpha A is in between 90 and 180, cos alpha is negative, and we are getting a negative voltage, and with converter A we are getting positive current. So V0 is negative and I0 is positive, so it is fourth quadrant operation. So if we are operating converter A, which we can achieve first quadrant or fourth quadrant operation. Okay, next is we can analyze when converter B alone is operating. Okay, when converter B alone is operating, we know that when converter B is operating, I0 is negative and V0 is minus 2 Vm by pi cos alpha B. Okay, again if alpha B is in between 0 and 90, this cos alpha B is positive, but there is a minus here, so V0 is negative. So we are getting V0 as negative and I0 is negative, so it is third quadrant operation. Clear? Then case 4, we are operating converter B with a firing angle which is in between 90 and 180. So cos alpha become negative, then negative into negative, V0 is positive. Okay, so we are getting a positive voltage, and as the converter B is operating, I0 is negative. So V0 is positive and I0 is negative, so it is second quadrant operation. So we are getting third and second quadrant operation. With this we can, if converter A alone is operating, we are getting first and fourth quadrant operation, and if converter B alone is operating, we are getting third and second quadrant operation. Okay, Next mode is circulating current mode. So we discuss in non-circulating current mode, we are at a time we are operating one converter A or B. So in circulating current mode, we are operating both converters at a time. Okay. So if we are operating converter A and converter B at a time, this is equivalent to that a circuit that there is a voltage source here and there is a voltage source here. Okay, both are appearing at a time. Okay, then in order to so there is chance of a current, a circulating current can flow from this direction to this direction, this voltage to this voltage. Okay, if there is a difference in this voltages, there will be a current flown from this side to this side. Okay, in order to avoid that, VOA, this voltage should be equal to this voltage. Otherwise, there will be a circulating current from this to this. Okay, so in order to avoid that, VOA should be equal to VOB if both converters are operating at a time. So again, we know that VOA is 2 Vm by pi cos alpha A and minus VOB is minus 2 Vm by pi cos alpha B. So we'll get cos alpha A plus cos alpha B is equal to 0. So finally, we get alpha A plus alpha B is 180. So this is a condition that should be ensured if we are operating the dual converter in circulating current mode. So we can analyze the currents of operation. So we know that in circulating current mode, both VOA and VOB will be there, and alpha A plus alpha B should be equal to 180. So first we can analyze how we can achieve current 1 operation. Current 1 means we have to achieve V0 positive and I0 positive, both V0 and I0 as positive. So in order to get a positive current I0 to be positive, we know that we should operate converter A. Okay, so converter A should be operated. And next, with converter A, we have to achieve a positive voltage. Okay, so if you are looking in this equation, if V0 should be positive, if we have to get V0 as positive, alpha A should be in between 0 and 90. Okay, so we have to fire the converter A with a firing angle which is in between 0 and 90. So if we got alpha A, we can find alpha B by this equation, 180 minus alpha A. So by this we can achieve current 1 operation. And next we can analyze current second operation. So for second quadrant, V0 is positive and I0 is negative. So we know that in order to achieve a negative current, we have to operate converter B. Okay, and again with this converter B, we have to achieve a positive voltage. Okay, so in order to get a positive voltage from converter B, this should be positive. V0 should be positive. So cos alpha B should be negative. Negative, positive. So cos alpha B should be negative. So in order to get a negative voltage, cos alpha B should be negative and alpha B should be in between 90 and 180. Okay, so if we are getting alpha B, we can find alpha A as 180 minus alpha B. So by this we can achieve second current operation. And next we can analyze current 3 operation. Okay, so in order to get current 3, both V0 and I0 should be negative. So in order to get negative current, we have to operate converter B. Okay, and next with converter B, we have to achieve a negative voltage. Okay, so this should be negative. So cos alpha B should be positive. Okay, negative into positive, negative. So cos alpha B should be positive. Then alpha B should be in between 0 and 90. So if you are getting alpha B, we can find alpha A as 180 minus alpha B. Okay. Next, current 4 operation. Current 4 operation means V0 is negative and I0 is positive. So for getting I0 as positive, we have to operate converter A. Then next, with converter A, we have to achieve a negative voltage. Means VO should be negative with converter A. So alpha A should be in between 90 and 180. Okay, and if you are getting alpha A, we can find alpha B from this equation, 180 minus alpha A. So by this we can get 4 quadrants of operation in circulating current mode. So we have analyzed the 4 quadrant operation. Means if you are driving the motor with dual converter, we can achieve forward motoring, forward braking, reverse motoring, reverse braking. Okay. So we can achieve the motoring in forward and reverse direction, braking in forward and reverse direction. Okay. So this is about the single phase dual converter, and if you are going to 3-phase dual converter, it is similar to the single phase dual converter. Only difference is we are using both converters as 3-phase, and the equation is 3 root 3 Vm by pi cos alpha A. So all the explanations are same for 3-phase dual converter. It can also operate in circulating current mode and non-circulating current mode. Okay, so we can explain the 3-phase dual converter same as that of single phase dual converter. Okay. So with this we can wind up this session. Thank you.